Hello, welcome everyone to episode 9 of the Movie Trash Podcast. And I'm here with my co host, Jay, and myself. And today we will be reviewing Spider-Man 2. And so, as for the synopsis, we have Jay. So, go ahead, tell us what's up.
What's up is this fucking wind by my house. It's loud as shit. That's what's fucking up, Angel. Stupid as shit. Right. It's pissing me off. All right, anyways. I was going to say, what was I saying? What must be saying?
The synopsis.
The synopsis, yep. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the synopsis created by probably IMDb, I don't fucking know, says, when a failed nuclear fusion experiment results in an explosion that kills his wife, Dr. Otto Octavius is transformed into Dr. Octopus, a cyborg with deadly metal tentacles. Doc Ock blames Spider-Man for the accident and seeks revenge. Meanwhile, Spidey's alter ego, Peter Parker, faces fading powers and self-doubt. Complicating matters are his best friend, played by the wonderful James Franco, hatred for Spider-Man and his true love, Mary Jane, sudden engagement to another man. Boom. Because Mary Jane's a thought.
Yeah, she really out here being a thought.
The only reason I shouted out James Franco, though, is because he's like the most handsome man in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
He ain't the best actor, but he's the most handsome man in that goddamn movie.
True facts.
I think we all know that.
No, we all know that.
No. James Franco is fucking scrumptious, bro. Like, no homo. Actually, no, full homo.
He said full homo.
James Franco, if you listening, love you.
Please come on the podcast so we can, just have dreamy eyes, over your beautiful voice, I don't know how you have dreamy eyes over that, but we'll make it happen.
That's how I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 3, when he's like licking his lips, he's like I forgot that part. And then when he's eating the pancakes, I think, and then he looks over at him and he smiles, all fucking devious. My God.
Yeah.
My panties get wet every time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
James Franco. Sexy as hell. One more time for the audience. Sexy as hell.
Well,
Anyways.
Anyways. So yeah, the movie. In terms of this movie, definitely I definitely haven't watched it in quite a while. I know I'll see clips here and there of the movie. There's definitely those clips that are the super iconic parts of the movie. But other than that, it was fun seeing it again. Really good. I do like it. And definitely if I had to word I guess Peter's huge struggle within this movie, it's honestly trying to balance out what he wants to do versus what is kind of needed from him in terms of, the whole responsibility of being Spider-Man. And then of course him trying to find his own happiness among his friends, Mary Jane, the one he loves, and just his life in general of who he wants to be, and trying to, just kind of juggle it all around. And yeah, just getting shit on almost every single part, just constant shit after shit after shit. And you start to really feel bad for him. And I mean, I personally did. I was like, damn, this sucks being in, shoes where everything is going wrong. I mean, I feel like the average person would start to really just, they would have given up such a long time ago, and he still tried very hard to still keep it up. He was still trying to juggle it as, no matter how hard his hands were hurting, but he still kept going. And eventually, yeah, he does hit his peak point where it's a bit too much, but at the end of the day, he still is Spider-Man. He comes to realize that. So I don't know, what do you think about it? What was, what were the big call out points in terms of the movie?
I thought that Tobey Maguire, best Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, best Spider-Man.
I kept looking at my girlfriend. I kept telling her, I don't give a fuck. These fight scenes, I know they're CGI. They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so good compared to the MCU. They're just so good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Watching Homecoming and Far From Home a couple times, I really realized after owning Homecoming that I really don't fucking like that movie that much. Like,
I got you.
I know that the director, John Watts, I believe.
Hmm.
I do
Hmm.
know that he was a huge. Is it John Hughes? I think it's John Hughes, right?
I'm not too
The guy who
sure.
made Ferris Bueller and all that shit.
I
I don't mean like
believe.
shit, but like stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of people like those movies. I don't know. It doesn't capture me because like it's like the teenage
yeah. John Hughes,
fantasy.
you're right.
Oh, it's John Hughes,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yep.
I
You're
know
right.
it's like
Hmm.
mostly like it's like weirdly teenagers kind of like being very like witty and back to back and stuff like that. And that's what I get from
Yeah.
like Tom Holland's Spider-Man performance and stuff. But it's just something
Yeah.
about Toby's that hits different.
Oh yeah.
It's very different, and the choreography for the fight scenes, the ones that are actually like, you know, choreographed, right?
Choreograph. Hmm.
Yeah, those are actually like really well done, and
Yeah.
I think the CGI just does the parts that it needs to, which I think is very important for a film because I hate when films are just nothing but CGI. Like, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
say, but like that's one reason why like Endgame and Infinity War are kind of fucking
Hmm.
shit. Is
Hmm.
like everything is literally CGI, and I'm talking about everything from the actual like even city behind Tony Stark when he
Yeah.
uses the
Yeah.
fucking Iron Man suit for the first time, and that's so
Yeah.
annoying. So
Yeah.
going to this and knowing that there are scenes with CGI, you can tell the scenes that they're CGI
Yeah.
because while the CGI has increased from Spider-Man 2002, it's still noticeable. But goddamn, is it beautiful though? Some of those
Yeah.
scenes just look 10 times
Yeah.
better than anything that Marvel has dropped in a really long time.
For
Like,
sure.
I recently rewatched Iron Man with my girlfriend, and by recently I mean like probably 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
maybe less. I don't know, but we rewatched it, and it just shows how much they were using like actual on-set shit, like actual what's the word? How do I go through a movie film class and I can't remember the name of the actual fucking things? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was actual things like I do know for the Lighthouse movie, right, with Robert
Hmm.
Pattinson and Willem Dafoe,
Well,
like they
yeah.
used like actual objects. Like there was an actual tentacle. They just added CGI to make the tentacle look more lifelike.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the
Yeah.
objects. There's like a certain name for the objects though. Like in the
Yeah.
movie, it's called
Definitely like the physical objects used, and I mean it's what makes it look at. I mean, it's realistic to start with because it is.
yeah.
So definitely, I get
Like
what you're talking about.
you can like those are like that scene where he like exits like the cave that he was in. I'm saying like so many times. Sorry about that. But he to exit the cave he was in, he just comes out with this like fucking suit of armor, and it just
Hmm.
looks so badass. But the thing is
Yeah.
about that is that it was actually like real. Like a majority of that armor is real.
Yeah.
Like that was an actually man-made like product just for the movie. And I think that
Hmm.
like shows the potential of the MCU and what it could have brought more, you know?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
actual things and create actual items and costumes purposely just for the movie. And I
Hmm.
just that's what I like about this film is like everything is done with the purpose of okay, we want to make a good film, but we want things to still be realistic while being like in a superhero film.
Okay. For sure. I definitely, yeah, definitely agree with that. In terms of that, like you said, I didn't notice the overuse of the CGI, which, you could say, oh, well, it's because they didn't have, enough money or to do it or just big enough of a budget to go about just using CGI to its fullest. But
Thank you, Win.
going about it, but going at it like at a different like direction, and trying to use it when it's really needed and or just when it's needed, not, just spill it over everywhere and actually try to use things is like you said, it is something that shows the hard work and dedication of putting that into one's own like movie or in this case, I mean, definitely I'm very sure Sam Raimi, it's like this is his art piece, so definitely great in terms of that. In terms of I really want to get into Peter's character development in terms of this movie because it is very dynamic, definitely a lot more dynamic and more thorough than Spider-Man, like the first one, the 2002. And so going through this one, yeah, just starting out from the beginning, the whole what pizza time, right? kind of instance of him being a pizza boy and whatnot,
Yeah.
you can already see the struggle. Like I just remember the first time seeing it. I'm like, why is Peter a pizza boy? Like, why? Why is that? I never could understand on how, when you think of a superhero, you would like to think, oh, everyone is there for that person. And so because everyone is there cheering them on, they somehow have some way of having everything well in their life. But no, Spider-Man isn't like that. Not everything goes well, and not everyone knows, no one really truly knows who he is. And that's the point. He does that for the sake of, protecting those that he cares about. And it comes at a cost and a price in which he has to hide his identity and be someone else or who he truly is as Peter Parker. And that is a very painful truth because it's him trying to reach his dreams while trying to live job after job, and he keeps letting down these, jobs that he's like having in place because of Spider-Man, and it just goes downhill from there. And I think a lot of people can definitely relate. You don't have to be Spider-Man to go through that pain of trying to become something while going through all these responsibilities. And when you can't meet these responsibilities, everything just starts going downhill from there. And so with that, you really start feeling it. And I think that's what makes his character so relatable to a lot of people, and why, like you said, I personally think, yeah, Toby is definitely my Spider-Man. Could be biased that I grew up with this, but nonetheless, it's that, relatability. In terms of Tom Holland, I just couldn't. It didn't seem that he was, juggling so many responsibilities. And it could be, yeah, he's a teenager in that movie. He's supposed to be a young kid. He was only in high school, so understandable. But I like this older kind of Spider-Man. It is where I feel is at the peak of who truly, what the struggles are going to be for Peter, and Spider-Man as well. And so definitely possibly my favorite part out of the whole movie is just his constant character development and how he goes about trying to hop over these obstacles as, Peter and Spider-Man. And I don't know what you think about that in terms of that and how you felt about his character development.
There are so many points in the movie that I just love Peter and Spider-Man's character development. I can't even choose just one. But I think one of the best moments is easily when he talks to Uncle Ben again.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the most iconic scenes from Spider-Man 2. Like, I remember watching one of my favorite YouTubers. His name is High Top Films. And he talked about Spider-Man 2. Like, he went on a whole ramble of the whole trilogy, pretty much explaining why they're so good. And I couldn't help but just agree with every single point. But I remember seeing that moment where he showed the scene where Uncle Ben and Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, I should say, like, kind of reunite in his head, of course. And they just talk about how Peter just can't deal with these issues anymore of just being Spider-Man and himself. Like, he needs to make a balance and he just can't seem to find that balance. And Spider-Man is just becoming more and more like controlling as like a whole, like he's stopping him from achieving what he really wants, which is Mary Jane, getting a good job, being stable, not having to worry about where he's going to sleep for the night,
Yeah.
And I think that's like one of the greatest scenes in probably this entire fucking film. Maybe even cinema. Don't quote me on that though. But it's that little thing in his head where it's like the last conversation he had with Uncle Ben is literally in that film, in Spider-Man 1. Yeah. And the fact that he like kind of relays in his head that moment and just like tells Uncle Ben like, nah, I can't be this anymore. Like, it's heartbreaking, but it kind of shows like how we all kind of would be if we were constantly stressed out by something, like, imagine having a job where you have to save people, but also those people kind of question whether you're a good person or not. Number one, because of the fact that a literal news source is telling them that you're a bad person. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, you don't get paid for this job. You're doing this just because you have these powers and you feel responsible to, or the responsibility of doing that,
Yeah.
And then number three, like, you just have nobody backing you up about anything, Like, you have no girlfriend, you have no social life. And the jobs you do have are usually ones that fuck you over anyways.
Yeah.
Honestly, like that Pizza Place job, that fucked him up.
Yeah.
You know? And same thing with Jameson. Like, of course he did like talk to Jameson. He was like 300. You know what I mean? And Jameson was like, what? Okay, fine. You know what I mean? And that's because Jameson, while he's kind of a scummy dude.
Yeah.
Jameson's kind of a piece of shit. But he still has like kind of like a respect for Peter in a sense. Yeah. Something we never talked about in Spider-Man 1 is literally the scene where the Green Goblin goes up to Jameson and is like, oh, you're going to tell me where Spider-Man's at? Or who's Spider-Man's, what is it, photographer? And he just goes, oh, he gets his stuff in the mail. Like, Jameson could have easily ratted out Peter. He could have been like, yeah, it's Peter. You know?
Yeah.
And shit, the same thing probably wouldn't happened. It would have been Green Goblin chasing fucking Peter again. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the film. But it wasn't that. Like, Jameson has that kind of, like, same respect for Peter. Mm-hmm. So, I feel like that's why he gave him that 300. You know, he's like, all right, you know,
for sure.
Like, you're a kid, you know?
Totally.
You're a kid, you don't know about business quite yet. Like, I'm going to do what you say because, number one, you give me pictures of someone no one else can. And then number two, like, they're pretty fucking good pictures.
Yeah.
You know? For so, sure. I just feel like there's a respect there.
For sure.
And back to what I was saying, though. Just the fact that he just goes back to that point where him and Uncle Ben talk again, and of course it's heartbreaking seeing him just go, I can't be who you want me to be, Uncle Ben, you know? Not gonna lie, I tear up every time. Time. Like, 'cause that shit is just, it just hits different. Imagine a family member having expectations of you, they pass away, and like you're failing every single one of those expectations that they put upon you. Yeah. And it's all for the greater good, pretty much. Yeah. Like, that will take a toll on you.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't recognize this film as like kind of like, you sometimes need to sacrifice yourself in order to be a hero, you know? Yeah. This is definitely I won't say forgotten great, but very underappreciated. Yeah. A lot of people like to say, oh, Tom Holland this, Tom Holland that, but come on, what does movies actually stand for? What is a character that Tom Holland gives off? Like, because I was talking to my girlfriend, and my girlfriend told me that she liked Tom Holland's Peter Parker more than Tobey's Peter Parker. Not Spider-Man, but Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of just like, I mean, Tom Holland's Peter Parker isn't like terrible, but to me, it's just nothing. He's just goofy. And really every character in the fucking MCU nowadays is goofy except Captain Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch the original Thor movies, he isn't that goofy until Ragnarok. You know what I mean? Same thing with fucking Hulk. He isn't goofy until Endgame. Same thing with a lot of the characters. If anything, it hasn't been the same since Guardian of the Galaxy 1 got released. Yeah. So I just feel like a lot of the characters nowadays are just, they're all goofy in the MCU. And that's what pisses me off. It's just like, they don't have character. They're all the same character. Yeah. And something about that just turns me off completely. Like, Captain America wasn't Iron Man, you know? Yeah. And Thor, he can be goofy because he isn't like aware of regular human shit, you know? He's a fucking god, literally, you know? The Asgardian lifespan is like fucking thousands and thousands of years, so it makes sense why they don't really give a fuck about like that shit, you know? Yeah. But that like, that's goofy in itself, but I just feel like it's forced goofiness nowadays. Like, it's not natural. Like, Thor is now goofy because they make him stupid on purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, well, what's funny in Thor, the original Thor, right, is like when he throws the fucking glass on the ground and he's like, bring me another, right? Yeah. And like, that's funny because it's like, oh, that's what he does at home, you know? So why wouldn't he do that here? But nowadays it's just like, oh, okay. But Thor in a situation, right? Like, he'll just be like saying this, right? And then for some reason, this fucking 1,000-year-old being doesn't know what that is. You know what I mean? Like, somehow his dad, you know, the dude who literally, like, I don't fucking know how old he is, but somehow didn't teach him something a part of the universe. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't even know. Did Thor even know who the fuck Thanos was?
I I don't think so.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
highly,
Like, I don't
yeah,
think he
I
knew
don't
about
think so.
Thanos and literally until Infinity War, and that kind of pisses me
Yeah,
off. Is like, wouldn't Odin, one of the dudes Thanos literally fears, wouldn't he tell Thor about Thanos?
yeah, or at least something, a tale, a story, or just any recollection of, those outside of the cosmos. Because yeah, you would expect this guy to know everything, right? Or just at least be the most experienced,
Yeah. Oh,
So why not
anyways,
tell your
back
son?
to my. Sorry, I
Mhm.
didn't mean to go on that whole ramble about the MCU.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
my sum
yeah.
down to the MCU is fuck anything about the MCU after Phase Two. Okay, except Guardians 2. I don't know where that falls on the spectrum of
Yeah.
like Phase 2 and 3, but everything after Phase 2 is pretty much fucking dog shit. And it's going to
Yeah.
continue to be dog shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Spider-Man will always be Toby for me, and I'm really hoping Doctor Strange 2 will canonize, or however you say it, the fucking
Mhm.
original trilogy, because that shit, it's like spaghetti with parmesan on top, you know what I mean? Some
Oh
meatballs.
yeah.
Like,
Some
that shit is
meatball.
just too spicy, bro.
Yeah.
And
Nah.
Tom Holland, I like you as an actor. You're cool. I'm sure you're goofy in real life. You and Zendaya are probably close. But can we get some chemistry on scene, bro? Like,
Yeah.
god damn. I feel like when I watched that film for fucking Homecoming, like, there's like no chemistry other than MJ just like being a dick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's funny. Ha 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 ha. She's making fun of him because like they like each other. Ha ha ha. It's like, but I don't feel anything for that, bro. That's boring as shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like, I'm just saying, should Peter be a simp for MJ in Sam Raimi's films? Nah. We ain't simping out here. Okay? But I'm just saying they need to create some type of fucking chemistry for those guys. Like, I've seen people talk about it and be like, oh, well, they do have chemistry because of this and that. I don't see it, bro. I really don't. I'm
Yeah.
trying to, from your perspective. I'm trying. I rewatched Homecoming. I saw fucking Far From Home twice in theaters. All right, but it's just there's no chemistry for me, and I feel like Peter Parker's like a big part of his life is literally not being in love with MJ, but just having a love life in general. Because
Yeah.
humans have love lives. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
until you find that one, you're gonna have a love life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like a relatability thing, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I don't know, I didn't relate to Tom Holland at all. So all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say is, Tobey Maguire, please come the fuck back. I can't deal with this shit no more. This shit all mid. Please, for the love of God, come the fuck back. Help
Please
me,
save it,
help
bro.
me.
Help me.
Yeah, whereas
Yeah.
like, remember in Family Guy, fucking Spider-Man saves Peter, and he's like, wow, Spider-Man, you saved me. He's like, everybody gets one, right? Toby, I need my one. Give me Spider-Man 4. Fuck. Tired of this shit. Tired of
Yeah.
these mid-ass Peters and these mid-ass Spider-Man. Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
Spider-Man does quip in these films. Fuck you guys. He doesn't do it a
Wait,
lot,
Spider-Man.
but he
He
quips.
what?
Quip, you know how he like talk shit to villains? A lot of people
Oh
complain
yeah.
that Spider-Man in the Sam Raimi trilogy doesn't talk shit to villains. He does. When he's not getting
Yeah.
punched in the
He does.
fucking face. Like,
Yeah.
there's literally moment like I can't point out every single one, but I remember in
Hmm.
the bank when fucking Doctor Octopus, right? Doc
Hmm.
Ock, he fucking
Hmm.
throws some money bags at him, right? And he grabs one
Yeah.
and he goes, "Here's your change." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a quip, bitch. Did you not get the joke? Did that
Yeah.
shit fly over your head? All you Tom Holland stands? Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the word retard. That's disrespectful to retards. Because they're not that dumb compared to Tom Holland stands.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. You're right. I do agree that Tom Holland's character, like, just no other Spider-Man or just Peter Parker has ever just felt that kind of relatability, and you just can't feel for them. Toby's, for some reason, there is, you want to feel for him. You want him to succeed in what he's going for, and definitely, like you said, when the talk with Uncle Ben that he has, in his head, is definitely, yeah, a very sad scene. And I think what's even one of my favorite parts in terms of his, his character, that I feel like it's just, I don't think any other superhero film does, is when one quits, I love the aspect of him saving someone and doing the right thing as, I guess, Spider-Man, or you could just say as Peter, right? Though he doesn't have his powers anymore when he saved, that like little girl and like the fire, because that was
Mhm.
his automatic instinctual reaction as like Spider-Man, or just being one who, has to carry this responsibility that no matter that he left the life that he said he would as Spider-Man, it's still engraved into him. And
Yeah,
that it's always going to be there, and he has to accept that. And that is one of my
exactly.
favorite scenes, is like he comes back realizing, and especially when he hears that someone in the fire didn't make it, it hurts him. Like you can definitely see the pain of, if I was Spider-Man, that would have never happened. I
Exactly.
could have saved someone, and I think also definitely this has to be like one of the best scenes in this movie is the train scene. It has to,
Hmm.
like, saving those group of people, and just how much he was willing to risk his life to save all of those individuals, and afterwards for them to see, wow, he's just a kid. He's young. This guy, this young, who's going out of his way to save us for people he does not know, but he believes in us, and so we need to believe in him. And just that was very emotional scene, especially that his mask was off and they saw who he was, and they're like, wow, like we need to keep this secret as well, because like this is Spider-Man and there's a reason for why he wears a mask. And oh my god, especially when they stood up to like Doc Ock right after that, like
Yeah.
that was insane. That was kind of the same, if anything a better feel, that it's kind of like a correlation, is when Green Goblin was about to like come in, the as he's remember the scene where he's like under the bridge and
Yeah, and
he's
they throwing
holding
shit at
the
them or
yeah,
shit at
exactly. And
him.
they start, exactly. And so it's kind of a very good correlation. But I think this one was a bit deeper, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because it wasn't goofy. It was serious. It was in their minds, it's like, wow, this, like I said, this kid, this young guy is protecting us and willing to do so much to like save us. And we need to stand up. Like there is no excuse. And you could see them all stand up, and I think that was great. And I think that's the best part, is this is what Spider-Man does. He brings people together. He bands them up to fight against what is, either evil, wrong, or whatever, and call it cliche, call it, sappy or
Cheesy.
whatever, it cheesy, I think that is how it's done
Well,
rightfully,
I think you're wrong because Tom Holland performed his own stunts. That's why
I
you're
don't,
wrong.
oh my god, people
That's why
I
you're
swear,
wrong.
I could care less whether he
Shut
does
the
his own
fuck up,
stunts.
you're wrong.
That is legit Tom Holland fans, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Tom Holland, he's not a bad actor. He's not a bad Spider-Man by any means, but he is definitely not the best one.
No,
Like,
but you didn't hear me though. He does his own stunts.
oh my god.
Okay, you heard me that time?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
thank
definitely
God.
heard it. I heard autism coming out,
You
definitely.
fucking lagged right there.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
assuming you
That
said
is
something like
very
something
good.
like autistic screeching or some shit.
Sure. Yeah. Very close. That is like very close indeed, and basically what I said.
All right, just
Um,
making sure.
but yeah. So I don't know. It's just, you just can't help but feel for him, and you can't blame him.
Oh,
That
wait,
that
Angel.
is a hero.
Wait, Angel.
But
The wind wants an
uh-huh.
opinion.
Oh, the win.
Oh,
Oh.
oh. The wind says. Here, I'll speak for the wind like I'm the Lorax or some shit.
Oh yeah, please do.
Oh, okay. The wind says Tom Holland stands are fucking lames. Oh, damn. Come on, wind. Oh. And simps? And simps, apparently.
And Sims. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
If you're a Tom
Yeah.
Holland stan and you're a female or a gay dude, you're a simp. Quit simping for a dude just because
Yeah.
your audio switched up.
Oh, really?
It's hella
I
different now.
switched. Is it better or
It's like
worse?
better, but it switched.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Now people can hear
Yeah,
me.
Angel got
10
two
times
mics?
better. Halfway. Hey, yo, I got two mics. All right. I'm
Angel
here
got two mics.
switching up. Oh no, we're switching it up now, right?
All right.
We're switching.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like overall, like the film though, it's great. It's a masterpiece, and it's not just the parts where he's Spider-Man. It's the part where he's Peter Parker, and he's a human, and you can't help but want to be there for him, to be that person, like, especially when he was going through money issues, trying to find a job, trying to find how he's going to pay for the next, month's rent,
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, where you at, bro? I'll give you like my 300, bro. Just take it, man. You're saving lives. And that's the sad part, is no one realizes that. And that he knows that, and he's not selfish and, self-centered to be like, I am Spider-Man and I can't believe this is what you're doing to me, Like,
yeah,
no.
I was going to say, like, at any point, if he really wanted to, after those tragedies, he could just be like, hey, you going to have to cop a $500 or you going back in that fire, little girl. You feel me? Like, at any point, he can do that shit. He really can because he's Spider-Man, but he chooses not to because that's not who Peter Parker is.
Exactly.
I know there's like a difference between Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Spider-Man's outgoing, goofy, blah, blah, all this shit, right? And then there's Peter Parker, which he's nerdy, quiet to himself, keeps to himself, blah, blah, blah. It's the whole alter ego shit, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people just forget, like, bro, but he still is human. Like, can he not get some fucking help from somewhere? Someone. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, what I like about this film is it's basically just a superhero that needs saving.
Yeah. Basically.
And in reality, like, no one can except himself by him quitting tongue twister. Him quitting to be Spider-Man. Like, that is him trying to save himself. And I don't blame him for that. Yeah. Because if I was in this position, I don't know if I could keep going as long as he did either. But it's the fact that he comes back to it and he, like, continues to do it after coming to that realization, like, this is going to fuck me up for the rest of my life. Yeah. Like, I won't get the girl in my dreams. I won't be able to fucking make money. I won't be able to find a stable job. But the least I can do is save these people until I die. Yeah. And I think that says so much about his character.
Oh, yeah. Like, no, definitely. That is what I personally think is I want to at least strive for. I'll probably never reach that point of being that good-hearted, but it's at least something that I think almost everyone should strive for, for that selfless kind of, I guess, emotion of, having compassion, being there for others, whether it affects you or not in a negative way or a positive way. And if it's positive, great. If it's negative, you're going to deal with it because at the end of the day, you did what was right. And, exactly. We're all naturally selfish as human beings, but this just shows you that even Peter, who was trying to be selfish at some point in the movie, which is, you can't blame him. I'm not saying what, him being selfish was like wrong in any way. Cause I can't blame him. He went through so much, no way I could have gone after the whole pizza incident. I would have been like, screw this, like I'm done. Man. I'm done. I can't, I'm gonna be Spider-Man. I'm gonna go rob some banks.
Yeah, for real. I was about to say the same thing. I'm about to be like, I'm about to get my change. You feel me? Like,
yeah, like, hey, yo, Doc Ock, like, can I get some?
For real.
I'll help you, bro. Like, real quick.
I would have, after putting out Maybach in the streets, bro, I would have gone back up there and been like, hey, yo, no cap. Let me hold on to a couple of those.
Yeah.
Let me get some of those doubloons.
Honestly. Same, bro. And, like, honestly, Doc Ock, dog, you didn't have to get, Spider-Man. You could have just walked in back, see where, good old Harry was putting your little, device you needed, and just like rip open that.
It's not a device. It's a fucking, it's a metal.
Or whatever. It's a metal, it's and like whatever.
As vibranium. That's what it was.
Basically,
adamantium.
Adamantium. Yeah. And just, break open the safe and say, screw you, Harry. I just want my stuff, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. It was great. The part that I felt where definitely Mary Jane must have felt like a total, like a very bitch, bad person, selfish, was when she finally finds out that, Peter is Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think, bro.
Like she said she internally always kind of knew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she knew.
And even then, it's just like, how can you act like that if you always knew?
Right.
You're
like you fucking thought. You fucking.
Oh yeah,
thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Legit.
Like I always kind of knew Peter. Oh, bitch.
Huh. Okay.
I thought this was a whole ass secret. And you just hoeing out here? Bro, I had to drop you from this web right now.
Honestly.
Some dead ass thottery, bro. Kirsten Dunst. Why in the fuck didn't you stand up for your character, bro? You just gonna be a thought like that? That's honestly fine. I don't give a fuck. That's fine. You can be a thought.
And even after that, bro, like even Peter was just, I can't. This is why. And he, at the end of the day, he was still the good person. He was the better person out of like that whole situation, which is just shows you just how much this guy is willing to take for the people he cares about, because I'm sorry, but like if I was, I was trying to be a superhero and supposedly the girl I was dating supposedly said, oh, I always kind of knew, but was going to marry another dude, though she still knows. It's like, well, why are you getting mad at me then? You do realize what's at stake here. It's human lives. It's lives we're talking about that I could,
potentially save.
Essentially save. Exactly. And so then what's your problem? Why are you being selfish? Why can't you understand that? But, it is what it is. So
all I'm saying is that's the only problem with this movie pretty much is pretty much just Mary Jane just being a fucking huge ass thought.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think the movie like holds up so fucking well.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
This movie is like the gold standard.
Yeah, for sure.
I like Spider-Man 1 more, but I'm a big sucker for origin stories and shit like that. So I really like those movies. I prefer Batman Begins over The Dark Knight. Fucking don't kill me. Don't put me on the cross. Crucify my ass. But like I do like Heath Ledger's performance, but just I don't know. Ra's al Ghul was kind of badass in that film. Him teaching Batman how to fight and everything, that's just kind of badass.
Yeah.
I like that.
Agree.
Like, of course, it's not
badass.
Actually comic accurate. Like, Ra's al Ghul doesn't teach Batman. At least I don't think so. This is like in the old ass comics. But I'm pretty sure Batman teaches himself essentially, and like has like Taekwondo like teachers and fucking Krav Maga puppy teachers too. Because he has so much money, bro.
Yeah. Hey, yo, teach me.
For real, like he can do that shit. It's not a problem. But like I think that's pretty cool. That what was that about?
You were talking about Batman
origin stories,
like the origin story in terms of Ra's al Ghul.
I always prefer origin stories. I always like how they set up characters and stuff like that. Lately, Marvel has been failing that shit hard.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
Sadly,
it's okay.
Yeah.
Not like you need a origin story for Spider-Man, right? Haha. Not like you need to set up why he does things, right? Ha. Not like, Aunt May being like 50 and 40 or however the fuck old she is, being hot. Oh, not like we're going to assume Uncle Ben was also young. Haha, right? Haha.
Yeah.
No fucks given there.
Yeah.
I even told my girlfriend, I was just like, bro, don't care. Do not care. Old woman Aunt May always go.
Yeah, she's goat.
Like, because she comes in clutch whenever Peter needs it, bro. She's the only one that really saves Peter in this fucking film. Like, like even though she knows that Peter let the criminal who killed Uncle Ben go, she still finds it in her heart to forgive him and be proud of him just for telling the truth. That's the Aunt May that we need. You know what Aunt May we got? Some stupid fucking thought that somehow hasn't clicked in her head, or has now, but in Homecoming didn't click in her head. My nephew is always disappearing, and there's this new spider guy in the scene. You know what I mean? Dumb, stupid. Like even the scene in Spider-Man 1 where they think he's upstairs, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, what happens? Oh, look at that! He goes downstairs and comes up through the elevator.
Yeah.
Just to purposely make it so he looks like he wasn't up there at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like small things like that matter, and I don't think fucking MCU doesn't care about that.
I don't know.
Most of the arguments I hear is, it's a bigger universe. Okay, so I guess a bigger universe means you can't set up for smaller characters. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's so stupid. I hate that argument so much. I'm sorry, but because it's a totally different Spider-Man, in my opinion, I think setting up, Tom Holland's like origin story, people are like, I don't like the repetition. I don't care. if it works well and they find a way to make it, Tom Holland's still, but like very still pristine and as well as the way they did it in Spider-Man 1, the 2002 version, like it would have been fine, but they didn't. And I think that's the one part where I just felt like it was lacking. I don't know. Something.
Wait, Angel, the wind was speaking, bro.
Oh, yeah. What was the wind saying? I'm really curious.
The wind was saying repetition and what was that? Oh, okay. Repetition and, being, what's the word I'm looking for? Cliche. Repetition and cliche isn't bad when it's done right. Oh my gosh, the wind is smart.
Very intelligent indeed. Like, yeah. I can't believe the wind.
And it's saying, maybe Tom Holland stans should actually pay attention to what their character is doing and saying, and realizing that somehow this Peter Parker doesn't care about human lives. Oh my God, wind. Jesus, that's a what is that? A money shot. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a money shot.
No, that's like, honestly, that's a hot take, Wind. Be careful. Tom Holland stands will cancel your ass.
Honestly, I don't know, man. I just don't get me wrong.
There's just something that disgusts me about a Peter Parker that doesn't care about Uncle Ben. It just makes me feel uneasy, and he doesn't even feel like fucking Spider-Man. He just feels like Iron Boy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say disgust because I did watch the film and I do fairly enjoy them. They're not the worst thing ever put on cinema. That'd be such an overstatement. But it's just the fans that like it so much. Like, okay, bitch, go watch a John Hughes film. Go watch like what an actual like talented fucking director can do. I'm sorry to say, John Watts, I don't want John Hughes for another 30 years. I want you to create your own style and I want you to make it good.
Yeah.
If Sony says you can't have your own style, then tell Sony, fuck off then. Don't ask me to make any more goddamn movies. I get it. This is like a big thing, but you already did 2 Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
You don't need any more fucking recognition. If your name is not recognized by the media after doing 2 Spider-Man films, then you're just never going to blow up, bro. You're just never going to blow up. That's it. That's it for you. Tell them fuck off and let them give you like actual like creative freedom. And if they are giving you creative freedom and this is the shit you're dropping, this mid-ass shit, this mediocre ass shit, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's only if it's mid though. Like that's only if you have if you have creative freedom. If you genuinely have creative freedom, like fuck you. Honestly. Yeah. What pissed me off as I watched an interview with him and he said that in Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's mind, Spider-Man was always seen as a dude that would look up to superheroes and shit. Bro, huh? Like, I'm more than sure in the comics at some point, yes, Spider-Man likes Iron Man.
Yeah.
But in recent years, he created like Parker Industries and shit. And that's like to go to head with like Oscorp and Iron Man, I believe. Like, so where the fuck are you getting this bullshit? Like, I get it. Right now, Spider-Man is literally the audience, pretty much, like in a movie.
Yeah.
Reacting to all the cool superheroes. Oh, what's that? That's cool. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Metal arm. Oh, wow. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But, god damn, man. Please, give him character development. Oh, look, my Peter Parker doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore, like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. See those? That makes us kind of similar, guys. Look, it's the same character development. No, it's not. Because we start off the film seeing why he doesn't want to be Spider-Man. You know what we have to do in order to know why Peter doesn't want to be Spider-Man in fucking Far From Home? We have to watch Endgame.
Yeah.
A whole 3-hour movie to set up the next movie. I get it. It's part of a bigger universe. But when does that take away from the fact that you need to drop a film that has a congruent story or what is it, consistent? I don't give a fuck. That has a story within itself.
Yeah. I don't know. I highly dislike that part so much that I don't like that argument because though because of Iron Man's death, he stopped. I don't know. Spider-Man wouldn't do that. I mean, in Spider-Man 1, when Uncle Ben died, if anything, he changed for the better to become something greater, you know? Why not do that with this? But no, he doesn't. He needs to take a day off.
He agrees with you, Angel.
Oh my God. Like, For what? For why? You know? It's like I would have expected Peter to have been like, okay, the person that I looked up to is now dead. And so what do they want? You know, what would they expect from me? And so I would like to think that he'd be like, wow, I think Iron Man would really like me to take up, I guess this mantle that's kind of been kind of pushed maybe, I don't know, throughout the movie, and just fulfill it and become Spider-Man and become your own thing and do it because you know it's the right thing to do. But no, he
Oh,
doesn't.
Angel, wait, that's the best part, bro. The funny thing about that is, in that film, apparently this is the film where Spider-Man becomes his own man, right? But the funny part about that is directly after that scene, High Top Films pointed this out to me, just to let you know, because I kind of enjoyed this scene, but I didn't realize how contradicting it is. Right after that scene where Happy tells Peter, oh, I don't think Iron Man would have done what he did if he didn't know that you would be alive after this, you know? Like basically saying like, oh yeah, he did that because he wanted to make sure you were like alive and that you were good, you know? And I was like, of course, I was like, oh, touching, ha ha ha. And he's like, he wants you to be your own man, pretty much, is what he's saying, right? And stuff like that, right? But then directly after he's saying, oh yeah, be your own person, what does he do? He plays AC/DC, fucking Back in Black, the song that they literally play in the first Iron Man film, after saying, be your own man. Be your own man, but we're going to bump the same tunes that pretty much was in Iron Man 1, kind of drawing a line there because, boom, mind blown. Boom.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I don't, you know.
I like John Favreau, though. I think that's how you pronounce his name. John Favreau, you did a great job on Iron Man. Love you.
Yeah.
I love that you play Happy. That's really cool. I didn't know that you were even an actor until I saw that you were in that film. I didn't even realize you were actor/director in that film. That's fucking crazy to me. Keep up the good work.
Keep the good work.
I'm sorry that they fucked you over for Iron Man 3. I hope Shane Black did a good job. Still haven't seen that fucking film. By the way,
legit.
Iron Man 2, you killed it. No cap. I like Iron Man 2 a whole lot more now. I rewatched it. It has some dope ass lines. There's one line where he's talking about he's talking to Whiplash, right? And I didn't realize this is such a cool line. He's talking to Whiplash and he's like basically talking to him and he's just like, I beat you, right? And he's basically like, oh, like what do you mean you fucking beat me, pretty much, right? And he kind of just goes, I beat you because if you can make God bleed, the people will stop believing in him. And I was just like, fuck, bro. Like, that shit made chills go down my spine. Yeah. I was like, that shit hit different. Anyways, enough of the MCU. Yeah. Back to this film. Back to the film. We've been just bashing on the MCU since we started.
Okay. Back to the film. Okay.
Back to the film.
Another part that I also want to highlight in this film was both Doc Ock's character and Harry's character. Harry was definitely on and off, which makes sense. I mean, he definitely hates Spider-Man, and knowing that Peter is supposedly friends with Spider-Man, though he is Spider-Man, of course, right? Was an interesting thing. And in terms of a dynamic, in terms of how he felt, I think one of the funnier parts, and I know we will review when we watch Spider-Man 3, is the butler knowing something all
the butler's just like, hey, Harry, I'm a head out, and he's just like, all right, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna catch you later.
Oh man, yeah, like like
it was rushed.
I'm very sure it was not something that like would have been done. Exactly. Like that's not what would have been done. They just wanted to do that because that's just the only thing they could do to wrap it up, to kind of fix that issue and I guess that loophole. But other than that, in terms of Harry's character, I'm curious. What did you think about this part? I was a little curious on how this worked. How did Harry hear his father's voice, though he had no serum? He was getting angry and all, but how did that work? Like, how would you view that? Was that supernatural? Was that just all in his head? But like, how did that even begin to be part of his head? Is honestly, like the question.
What I was thinking is that Harry was just like in a super dark place, and I think just having the idea that like fuck, like my best friend just murdered my father. You know what I mean? Like, or having the idea that my best friend did murder my dad, and he's been lying about this the entire time. I think that just had like a mind breaking moment for himself, where he just like, his mind kind of just went like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, this entire time I was hating the person and talking to this person and like hanging out with this person. He was pretending to be my family, but he's nothing but a fucking traitor. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just a part of him just snapped. He was just like, ugh.
I got you.
That's just my opinion. I don't know what actually was going on.
And that makes sense. I could definitely see that. Yeah, I was just really curious because I'm like, I know he heard those laughs, but I don't know if those laughs, if he ever connected them, like the Green Goblin laughs, to his father. I'm like, whether he knew that or not. That was the only, I guess, not. It wasn't a problem. I did like it, and I do like how it's kind of conspicuous, where you can't really tell what is what in terms of whether this is all in his head or it's a supernatural thing. You know, going on.
Like, just has a recording and fucking with him just start laughing. He's just fucking with him. He's like, I hear him head out. He just hides behind a potted plant. He's like, what the fuck with this motherfucker?
Oh my god! So
like little rich bitch. That's why he holds in that information till Spider-Man 3. He's just like, fuck you, little motherfucker. Fuck you.
I will say though, you know, it was. I did like that scene in terms of his progression of hating Spider-Man and how much it's affecting him. One part that I thought was kind of funny was kind of his. He kind of had like a bratty moment, if that made sense. Like the rich, because now he's rich, of course. Now that Oscorp is all his, but especially when after the whole situation with Doc Ock and his failure in the first time, where he couldn't control like the core or whatever of that thing, and whatever explosion that happened after, he's just like, damn it, like he ruined this for me, like now I'm gonna go in bankruptcy. And I'm like, Harry, did you forget about the guy you kind of brought there, like Peter, your homie? Like, does your company kind of matter right now? Not Peter. That didn't cross your mind, dog? Because after that, Peter's just like, huh? Like he just kind of came out of the blue. Or no. Well, he was Spider-Man. Well, he left, right? But like, I don't know. I thought it was a funny scene, and I think it kind of shows how
self-centered Harry is.
Self-centered Harry is at the moment. I mean, he doesn't care. He's kind of all about himself at the moment, which makes sense. I think
it's also kind of like a little bit of just like he doesn't really care because Peter won't help him in his little like dastardly deeds to get back at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I hope that motherfucker died.
Yeah, I hope that motherfucker honestly, yeah.
And I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you're right. And it could be also... Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say that just Harry in this film, he's definitely more brattier, but I think that just has to do with like him just going through the phases of grief, Yeah. Just being angry. Like, I don't know, for a while, like I wasn't really angry at the world, but I was just angry with the idea of my grandparents, or not my grandparents, but like my great grandmas, they passed away. I remember just being angry, just in general. Like, I didn't want to give it out to people or just yell at random people or anything like that, but I just remember being frustrated all the time, just being like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being like self-centered. And I think that's a normal trait to have when grieving. I firmly believe that he's just not over his father's death. Yeah,
true.
Man, I think it's pretty obvious considering the fact he wants to kill Spider-Man over it. Even though Spider-Man clearly isn't a piece of shit. Like, he knows Spider-Man isn't a piece of shit.
Yeah. I
mean, the scene previously, he literally saves him, so.
True. That is true. And even then, he was just like, I like how he tells the guy, he's like, but Spider-Man saved me. He's like, oh, he touched me. Oh, disgusting.
No. He's like, I don't think he says disgusting. I think he says like.
Not disgusting.
He's like.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I don't know. I think he was like, he just acted like he was higher up than that. He thought he was higher up than Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I always just think about the times where, like, I thought about the time where Peter Parker and him were fucking arguing in the fucking, what is it?
It was like a ball type.
It was a ball,
I know what you're talking about. It's like a party. Yeah. For the whole,
And then he like slaps him, right? But just think about the self-restraint Peter has right there.
Yeah.
Like, Peter can fold this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
But you also got to respect the balls on Harry, because Harry knows Peter can fold him. You know what I mean? Like, he literally saw Peter fold Flash, and Flash is like 2 times bigger than fucking James Franco.
Yeah.
So like, I like the balls on Harry, but also just the self-restraint on Peter.
I mean, he was drunk, right?
He was
really
drunk.
Yeah.
I guess you could just call that liquid courage then. But
Liquid courage, yeah,
still,
definitely
the
not
restraint
good.
on Peter doesn't change that. It just shows that like
Oh yeah,
it just shows that Peter like he genuinely cares about Harry. Like there's no
yeah,
malice in his intentions at all. Like him holding back the secret of being Spider-Man is literally not because he hates Harry, but it's because he loves him so much that he doesn't want to hurt him.
yeah,
Like he feels like he's done enough, you know?
yeah,
And I think that's a lot like because of course we're looking at from Peter's perspective. This entire movie is from Peter's perspective. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
That's why people act up and like we don't get it because it's like, oh well, yeah, they're going through their lives too. You know, we're not following them around. We're following Peter. You know?
yeah, yeah,
But definitely feel bad
yeah,
when that scene
for
happens
sure.
because he's just slapping him and hitting him, and clearly he can
Yeah,
fold his ass, but he doesn't because
yeah,
out of the goodness of his heart, number one, and then number two, it's just like I've done enough harm to you. While
yeah.
non-intentional, I've done enough. You know?
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. For sure. I do agree on that. Definitely another character that I wanted to take light to was Doc Ock's character.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his character was really interesting. I will say I did like how the interaction between him and his wife, I really like that a lot. I love their chemistry. Like in terms of, I instantly liked their relationship and how he kind of explained how like they met and what they were into. But even though they were kind of into kind of like polar opposite type things, they still understood one another and helped each other grow. And that's the reason why Doc Ock is where he is today in terms of believing in himself because his wife believes in him, and
Yeah.
that kind of the whole idea of like love and how you kind of need to take that chance, and believe in it. And then of course the whole like poem thing, I thought that was really funny and how Peter kind of takes that kind of pretty strongly. He believes in it. You can definitely tell how he kind of looks up to him, Dr. Octavius. I mean, hey, he's making a paper on him. So, why not? That's definitely someone that he loves. And you
All
can
right,
see
Win, chill out. Damn.
It's a right wing chill.
I know you want to get your opinion out there, bro. Chill.
Yeah, you can definitely see the relatability between the both characters. And though Doc Ock knows, that, Peter's a lazy student at the moment, or as far as he knows, of what Dr. Connor, right, told him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
No,
but lazy.
Brilliant but lazy. Exactly. And definitely, says a lot in terms of his character. And I did like how, though he was kind of dogging on him at that moment, his wife was kind of there to be like, hey, like cut him some slack, in terms of like, I failed too, like what he does is hard. And so like be reasonable kind of thing, so there's this kind of cool balance between them, which I really like. And it's, there was no ever disrespect within one another, which I, liked as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, his character, it just seemed like I could talk to like Doc Ock, one-on-one and just, talk about whatever. And I feel like he'd be like super wise, like maybe too wise, but you still want to hear what he has to say because you feel you can become a better person because of it. And I think that's definitely what Peter felt at that moment, especially with his struggles of, balancing Spider-Man, his love life, who he is as Peter Parker, school or whatever, everything.
Yeah.
So
I think when Peter meets Doc Ock, I think he kind of sees that he sees himself in that position that eventually everything will be okay. Personally, for me as a college student, I look for that as well. I constantly want to feel like everything is gonna be okay because of the fact that like college gets rough, man. You have fucking teachers and professors don't reply to your fucking emails no matter how many times you send them. Goddamn emails, and you can't do the homework. So now you're probably going to drop out of their class because they're assholes and won't reply. And you're probably going to tell the dean too, just so you don't get the fucking F or the withdrawal. Anyways, not like I'm talking from personal experience or anything like that.
Yeah,
but I was just going to say that it's just crazy that once again, the homie High Top Films, I don't even know the dude, but I just love his fucking shit so much. It's honestly some of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. But he pointed out that if you look at the color scheme for Toby's outfit and Octavius's outfit, it actually is red and blue.
Oh, okay.
Showing that like, just having Spider-Man colors is kind of always funny.
Yeah.
I think it also just shows that like, oh yeah, like I can eventually reach that,
Yeah.
Like, and if you think about it, it also just kind of like shows like just Peter's status right there is just like, I'm blue, you know? I'm down in the dumps. I'm unlucky right now, right?
Yeah.
And then what is Octavius right now? He's like on the verge of his dream, as hot as the sun, you know?
Yeah.
So
True.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That,
yeah.
High Top Films pointed that out. Once again, High Top, not me.
High Top. No.
But
I got you.
High Top, if you would ever love to be on here, I think I would bust a fat nut. You always have some good commentary to add on to everything. I love your little speeches.
There we go.
You convinced me Batman does not need to kill. Even though I didn't need much convincing. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck Zack Snyder. Sorry to all the people that like him. I hate that motherfucker. He makes edgy content for no fucking reason. Like, get it, bro. You made Watchmen in 2009. Jesus Christ, it's 2020. Stop trying to deconstruct heroes and make them good, like actual good people. Fuck. Haven't seen Man of Steel yet because it just looks boring. Sorry.
Man. You know, Man of Steel ain't so bad. It's all right. It's definitely not like anywhere near like favorites.
Well, I guess that part, where fucking Superman, apparently he doesn't have the strength to hold Zod's head still, but he has the strength to snap his fucking neck. I guess, yeah, that's not that bad. Superman would definitely do something like that. Not like he would try to save everybody because he doesn't want to see anybody die. Nope. No. He would snap his fucking neck.
I'll say this. But what I did like was in terms of like, there's
this is not a Man of Steel review, Angel. Move on.
Okay. We'll talk about definitely that film later. When we get to like super bad movie, maybe we should make another channel, bad movie, movie trash reviews,
Nah, I think Spider-Man 3 is going to be a roast session. All right. I don't mind Spider-Man 3. I like Spider-Man 3. That's like a good film.
Okay.
In my eyes. But you guys want to know why I think it's a good film next episode.
For sure. Yeah. So
this podcast has been flippy floppy this whole fucking time. Jesus Christ. All right. Anyways. Back to the actual film. I like the color scheme that they give Doc Ock and Peter, showing, Spider-Man, maybe someday you can have this.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Definitely one part that I loved a lot in terms of Doc Ock's character was how I guess he becomes, you can say because of the alteration of how the mechanical parts control him because of that little chip that broke, right? At it, like the nape of his neck or whatnot.
Yeah. How
kind of weirdly, I guess you could say, sociopathic in terms of reaching his goals. And he doesn't really care anymore at that point. It becomes really brutal, which I do like. Sneaky, doesn't matter, whatever he does.
Well, I think it's also cool. Like not just him though. I think it's also the AI. Because remember,
yes,
I don't know if this is only in this extended cut or in the whole thing. Because I watched the extended cut, but there's that whole thing where it's just like where the lady talks about, if the AI is so advanced, then can't fucking kill people? You know what I mean? Like advanced, to the point where like it'll fuck us up. And then he goes, nah, my cerebellum. Blah blah blah. Nape to the neck. Shit.
Nape to the neck.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Attack on Titan.
Some shit like that.
Some shit. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, you're right. And I do like how the AI does have a
sociopathic mindset.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just gonna murder anything that really gets in our way. I got you, Doc Ock. I got you.
I got you, bro. It's like we got you when you're sleeping, dog. And he was just laying on the table. They're gonna cut him. Cut those things off. And yeah, those poor nurses and
he's that homie doctors. You don't like the arms are the homie you don't go to because he don't play. You know what I mean? Like you go to him, you'd be like, bro, my boss been a bitch lately. He's like, pull up on him. You're just like, nah, bro,
chill out.
Damn, he's like 70, bro, chill.
Like I'm mad at him right now, but now I just feel bad.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to threaten his life. You crazy. Like he's just that homie you just don't go to. That's what the forearms is. You just don't go to him.
Honestly, man, those forearms, I do like the movement and life they give them, especially because of course it's an AI.
Yeah,
and kind of how weirdly like.
Once again, those arms are real. They actually have prosthetics.
Yeah.
Of those things, and they actually they're so dope, dude. Apparently, Sam Raimi and the crew actually named all 4 arms. That's pretty funny to me.
That is really funny. I'm really curious now. What he named the?
I have no clue, but that sounds really dope. I like the idea that they named the arms. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Gertrude, and that's Jeffrey, and that's Hans. No, Susie, you stay the fuck over there.
Yeah,
Like, I like
and
the
like
idea
it's
of that.
yeah, legit. And what I like is just like the emotion that I guess like the metal tentacles or whatever like emit when they're angry or they're kind of like is it's as if they're interacting with one another. I really like that a lot. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
me too.
Yeah,
I always like the
definitely
close-up
gives.
scenes where like Doc Ock and the tentacles are talking. You know,
Yeah,
they're really cool.
like yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Also, the self sacrifice.
Yeah, I
I
do like that idea that he's like, I don't want to die a monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Even though he caused
cool.
the problem in the first place, but
Yeah.
not like I created this problem in the first place, but it's all right.
Yeah,
We're good.
it's all right. Yeah, he's just like, so wait, am I still getting that like Nobel Prize? Just saying, because I saved everybody. You know, just
I personally think that Doc Ock is a well thought out character. Personally,
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
I very much like the idea of him being the inspiration for Peter Parker to want that life, you know? And and I like that he's the one that shows him, like, hey, you can have your cake and eat it too, motherfuckers. Yep, the chocolate cake was all just a ploy to show you that you can eat it too. Goddamn right.
Goddamn right.
I always see people talk about that and they're like, oh, I don't get it. And it's like, dude, the whole point of the scene is literally to show you that Peter Parker is going through so much shit that just the comfort of just having one friend, one person, generally go to him and just be like, hey, like, you want a piece of cake? Like, that means something to him because he's going through shit. And I think we all have those moments where it's like we're going through shit, we're not really telling anybody about it, but then that one friend just comes out of nowhere and is like, hey, like, I was thinking about you and I just got you this thing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, damn, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's very important. I love that scene a lot.
I got you. Yeah, no, I agree.
Even though that cake actually wasn't fucking chocolate. If you look in the center, it's actually vanilla. It just has chocolate frosting. That's bullshit. You said chocolate cake, bitch. If you don't bring that shit back...
You'll get a refund with your blind ass.
For real, I would have threw that shit up. I'd have been like...
Oh my
the hell I look like eating vanilla cake. You promised chocolate. Lying ass.
You promised chocolate.
Now I'm mad. Now you're going to have to give me tres leches.
Damn. I want some chocolate cake.
For real.
Damn. For real.
No, but honestly, there's so much that you can say about this movie that just comparing to other movies, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. All I'm going to say is this movie, well thought out. Sam Raimi clearly knows what he's doing as a director. The writer, I forgot the name of him. Fuck. But he clearly knows what he's doing, writing Peter Parker's character.
Yeah.
The actors, they did a good job. James Franco, while you're the most handsome man there, you're definitely not the best actor there. No offense. Still a beautiful man, though. I could watch you all day, James.
I could watch all day.
But other than that, I just think that overall, this film is just good. Choreographed.
I got you.
CGI.
Okay.
Story. Characters. Especially the characters. Characters, amazing.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I am definitely not looking forward to watching Spider-Man 3 because a lot of that stuff flops.
Yeah, like definitely good parts. We'll get
Toby's character. I don't know. I feel like Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3 does a good job, but it's like kind of everybody else that kind of like.
Yeah.
Like Harry's story kind of ends kind of with a whimper.
Yeah.
Venom's story was never really there to begin with.
Yeah.
Sandman's story is pretty good. I like Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman's is all right. Yeah, Sandman has to be like, definitely like the least.
I'm okay with the retcon. I'm okay with the idea that Sandman had something to do with Uncle Ben's murder. That's cool with me.
Yeah. I never saw it as bad. It was all right, you know?
Spider-Man 3 was the first Spider-Man film I saw in theaters. I owned the first two. So can't completely dog on it.
True.
Anyways, Sam Raimi, I love you. Please come back and make a good film. I know you're coming back to make Doctor Strange 2. and I'm gonna bust a fat nut when I watch that because I know you're gonna do good with that. I know you're gonna do good. I trust you, bro. I trust you. Bring Toby back. Bring Toby back.
Please. I don't care. Just bring him back.
Anyways,
too good.
I think.
What would you rate it?
Spider-Man 2. It's a good 9.5 as well.
9.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a soft 9.5. Like
I got you.
Spider-Man 1's a hard 9.5 for me. I wish they came back and did the CGI again. But Spider-Man 2 is a soft 9.5. Like it barely makes it up there. It barely passes 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say 9 out of 10 only because, and not the 0.5. And I think the 0.5 is just due to my bias because of Spider-Man 1. But like I said, nonetheless, it doesn't take away anything from the film. It's still a really good film. You know?
Yeah.
So
I love Sam Raimi. Yes, I'm a Tobey Maguire fanboy. The Wind agrees that Tom Holland stan should suck a dick. And I'm sorry for that retarded comment I made in the middle of this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
To the retards, not the Tom Holland stans. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, he said fuck you.
If your fucking Twitter profile is a Tom Holland picture, fuck you. No cap.
You said no cap. All right.
Anyways.
Like legit, if you're a Tom Holland fan, please put in the comments down why Tom Holland is better. And please, we are willing to go on a YouTube argument. We don't mind. We love good arguments. It better be good argument, but please let us know down in the comments. We'd love to know your opinions.
Anyways, Doc Ock, take your change, bitch.
Doc Ock, take your change.
All right, guys. Catch you later.
All right. Catch you later.
Oh, by the way, Spotify, iTunes. Don't forget. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.